Have you ever been working on a project and you feel like you're just not cut out to do it? Other people are doing better than you don't think you have the skills to finish the project. Yeah, it really sucks. Most of the time, what you're experiencing is imposter syndrome. So you feel like you are out of your element, you feel like you doubt yourself and you can't get through. Almost everyone feels imposter syndrome at some point in time. I have multiple times. I've gotten pretty good at getting over it by now. I've also helped a lot of my previous employees or coworkers or friends deal with imposter syndrome. So hopefully these things are going to be helpful for you and you can get over that and you can get back to being productive on your game and feeling good about it. This is where I have something kind of unfortunate to say. There really is one way to get over imposter syndrome, and that's to ignore it and move on. But that doesn't make a very interesting video, and you would kind of be mad at me if I didn't go into more detail on that. So here's three things that I think can help you get over imposter syndrome. They're things that I've used, things that other people have coached me into using, and I've then passed on to everyone else. In case you're new here, my name's Kyle. I make game dev videos 2 times per week like this one on a variety of topics. Give me a subscribe right down there. Let's get started talking about imposter syndrome. The first way that can be really useful for dealing with imposter syndrome, especially if you're more experienced, is to look at past work. Look at things you've done in the past. So when you're telling yourself you're not cut out to do something or you don't have the skills to do something, if you look at your past work and you see something that you've accomplished, that a lot of times can help you objectively assess the situation and say, actually, brain, you're wrong. I do have the skills to do this. Here are things how I've proven I do through my past projects. Cool, take a back seat, I'm back to work. That kind of thing can help a whole lot, especially if you are later in your career or you've worked on other things throughout your life. If you're brand new, it's not so useful because you may not have built up those things in the first place, which in that case, you're just new. And that's totally fine. You can't know everything at the beginning. You have to start somewhere. A lot of times I've found that the people that experience imposter syndrome are some of the people that are, in fact, very skilled at what they're doing. They're just concerned about the quality of what they're doing and the quality of their work, and it makes them feel like they're not good enough for what they're doing. On the other side of that spectrum, of course, you get Dunning-Kruger effect, where you overemphasize your skills because you just don't know enough about the domain, but that's not really what we're going to talk about here. So let's move on to number 2. Turn all of that self-doubt you have with yourself, or if someone else has for some reason told you that you can't do it, prove them wrong. In this case, prove yourself wrong. I'm a very stubborn person, so one way to get me working on something is to tell me I can't do it, and then I absolutely will do it. So if you have that kind of personality too, this kind of turn the self-doubt into fuel thing can really help you a whole lot, where you are going to prove to yourself that no, self, you're wrong, I can do this, I've got this, let's go. Both of these things get us into our third way of dealing with imposter syndrome here. That is just head down, keep building. Ignore it, just keep building. Just focus on your work, get into the zone, do what you're doing. Over time, that feeling will go away after you push through it, and especially after you start getting into a stride with what you're doing. You'll feel less and less like an imposter. Probably the only person that thinks you are is you in the first place. You keep moving forward and keep making progress. One final thought I'll leave you all with: not everything you make is going to be good. I'm going to do another video dedicated to that topic, but keep in mind that not everything you make will be good, and don't expect it to be. Over time, it gets better and better and better. One thing that can be really helpful in dealing with imposter syndrome, especially in that context of not everything you do will be good, is to remember that the quality of your work is not a measure of the quality of you. Everybody does bad work at some point. That's how you learn, it's how you grow. Don't let that get you down. Don't let that make you feel like an imposter, make you doubt yourself with your games. So keep working on them, keep building. You'll get over that imposter syndrome and you'll be back to working on your game, no problem. I know this is a shorter video this time. I think it's an important topic to talk about. Hopefully you all think so too, and hopefully these 3 things are going to be useful for you. Hit that subscribe button right down there. Leave me your comments if you like this or you have other tips for dealing with imposter syndrome, and I will see you next time. Oh, hey, one more thing before you go. I did an interview over on the Control Indie podcast with Juan Jose recently. Had a lot of fun doing that. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I'll leave a link down in the description. See you next time.